Hello survivors and welcome to another Watcher of Realms video, and in this video I'm going to be doing another stage 12 on a faction trial, and it is going to be for the Watchers. Now I have completed this already. As you can see, I am at 36 out of 36 as I have 3-star 12, but I used Leia, so I wanted to try and do one this time around where it's a bit more of an accessible team, because Leia is obviously extremely hard to come by, one of the hardest lords in the game to get your hands on, generally speaking, and also in like ancients and stuff, so it is that way it is. But I'm going to try and do it with like a bit more accessible team. Stage 10, 11 and 12 are all the same setup from the enemy. The stats just improve from the enemy, so they take less damage, do more damage as you progress. Stage 10 does require you to deploy 10 heroes. If you copy exactly what I do, I think I do that, but if you want to make sure, you just switch some heroes in at the end. At stage 11, you have to make sure someone doesn't get taken out. This can be quite difficult because there's an overload of AoE mages at one point, but obviously that's just 1 star, so you can effectively get 2 stars to move on to stage 12 and go back later on to 3-star that. But stage 12 is also quite difficult because you do need Cratch as a range character, and we have got him in the team. I have been fortunate, maybe enough, to actually summon this character. Some of you may not feel the same way, but you do need him to be able to 3-star this. So I guess there's a little bit of a silver lining there. When it comes to the team, I'm pretty much going to place every character here and rotate them a little bit. You can place characters in slightly different positions, utilizing like Lightlock as a healer on the bottom. I like to utilize Lightlock just for my range characters, which I'll just basically show you how I do it here. So the most important thing when it comes to this fight is to place Meriel as quickly as possible for me, to be able to get her ult up very early. There's a bit of RNG here. Fortunately, it's at the beginning of the fight. It's whether she takes heavy crit damage, so on and so forth. These 3 enemies that come in down the bottom, if they hit her with a lot of crits, she's in a lot of trouble. She has to get her ultimate off to be able to tank the damage that they're dealing out. We're going to place Alistair here, and then we're also going to place Darlin next to Alistair, and we're going to look at Alistair to invigorate him because she is an invigoration set. And you see her ultimate is coming up. We might be able to pop it just in time. There we go. We do manage to pop it in time, and she should heal enough where we can take at least 1 hit from this big dude that's coming in. We shall see. There we go. And mid-swing, we will sell her. We need to place the Livian straight away, and the reason we have to place Livian straight away is so that this guy doesn't get effectively aggroed onto Darlin, who we want to actually generate for us. And we can start placing characters here. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. There we go, and as you can see, we managed to take out like quite heavy HP now on my character remaining. This kind of sequence went reasonably well there. We'll leave Darlin in as long as possible. We'll pop Idril reasonably early here because we want to help with the fight down the bottom if we can help it. Just because the HP can get reduced quite heavily on this character, but it looks okay so far. And we won't need to, We can wait until this mage starts coming out. We'll put down Cratch as well. He's going to help with the damage. We'll also put down this guy. There's a lot of damage requirement down here. That's what needed. Now, you might think, why haven't I placed Iona? We kind of wait with Iona until later on in the fight. You'll see why. It gets a bit edgy. There we go. Very nice. We'll deal with as many of these as possible with these characters. A little bit of bonus damage there. And then we'll pop ults down the bottom when they come up. Now, as you can see, an issue's already arisen. I need to place Meriel here. Ult's going to get popped here. Now, if you see, I could put Iona next to Brienne, but Brienne's getting attacked by this mage, and the mage actually does AoE damage, which is horrible. Which is actually horrible. Lightlock can heal 1 character fine. He's going to heal her fine. But 2 problems. 2, there are massive problems, honestly. We'll pop this guy's ult as well. Now, for instance, this could be a bit shaky. We'll see what happens. this could be a little bit shaky because there's AoE damage coming in here. Muriel needs to pop her ult, but I don't know if she's going to get it in time. We'll see. They're taking quite a lot of AoE damage. Okay, we managed to take out the enemy. It is what it is. We're going to wait on Idril and Brienne. These are only the first set of enemies that come out. There is a second set. Oh no, this is it. This is it. We'll just roll it out. There we go. And now we'll sell you and put down Iona, because again, like I say, she can survive. She can survive. But yeah. Pop you as well. Do the heal. Pop you. We need to get rid of one of these mages really, really quickly, honestly. This is where it can become a bit sketchy. We'll see. We're going to see. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. One of the mages has to die really quick, honestly. There we go. One has died, but two will still do AoE damage. It could be a problem here. Go on, Cratch. You need to do something. You need to do something, Cratch. Can we block these? Make her walk back. Take 2 hits. Oh, this is going to be so close. Cratch. Is it Cratch going to save the day? He might. Is this Cratch's moment? That is it. It's like I said, it's a bit juggly, but it is only epics. If you have Leia, that is definitely the way to go. But we did manage to 3-star this. It's my shortest clearance time too. But we did manage to 3-star it. And it, like I said, a bit juggly, but it can be done. Now, obviously, if you are on stage 11, you'd have to sell characters at the right time to actually not have characters taken out. I think that's stage 11. Let me see. Stage 11. Yeah, it is stage 11. Okay. So I'll just go through the fighters just to show their what they were actually holding on to. It was the Watchers. So we'll start from the top. He has actually got some pretty decent gear on. It's the gear I have on Silas. It's a little bit more crit damage than damage. And he also has the artifact which gives increased AoE damage, which is Sharpshooter's Crest. That's why he's doing actually not too bad, all things considered. And then on the next character, we have my Kamet's main gear. Again, pretty decent attack, pretty decent crit damage, just under crit cap. It's just what it is. And then we had him in a Terra Twilight. Not a maxed out one. I have got another Terra Twilight, but I like to have a second one for a second mage, just at grade 1. Then we had Idril. And Idril has her own gear. I actually have her own gear set now, as I have been getting some of this Aegis Wrath set, and she's doing okay. This is enough for her to do GR3 without, obviously, with power dominance, but it's enough for her to do that, so I don't have to gear switch with her, which is nice. So my arena team still have some decent attack stats on them. She has, in this case, I think she had Spirit Siphon instead of what I normally give her, which is her own Idril's Gaze or whatever it's called, because I had Idril's Gaze on this character, and she was holding my Cetrum's gear pretty much. Again, pretty decent set. More crit damage, a little bit heavy on the attack. Idril's Gaze on the actual item. On this character, I just kind of put in his hands what I have. This is where I start getting a bit thin on the gear sets. This isn't terrible extra damage when hitting a crit, so he was doing okay. And then obviously in the artifact slot, I just had a Frigid Flame, so he was just doing extra damage if he didn't take damage. The AoE damage doesn't generally hit him because, you know, for whatever reason, at the beginning anyway, but if it does hit him, it only hit him really near the end when lots of the mages come at once. So it's, again, like I say, not too much of a problem there. Then we had Iona, and she's wearing gear where when she does an ultimate, she gets 35% attack for 10 seconds. Because I place her so late, I can't give her the set, like this set here, which is called Soulbound Arcana, of course, where she's going to get more damage as the fight goes on, because she only ults once, so I need her to get a big boost when she does that ult, and that's why she's wearing that. She is wearing a Tira Twilight 2, that grade 1 one that I was talking about. I haven't bothered upgrading because I will eventually, you know, put it into the other one. But that's how I went with her. With Livian, just Guardian, HP defense, you know, as I say, I haven't got crazy good Guardian gear. As you can see, it's all bad rolls. My left side gear is pretty decent, but my Guardian stuff is not the greatest. I did put my better set on Muriel, and then I put a Bastion ring on her, the lower grade one I've got. Then for Muriel, we do have the better Guardian gear, which is slightly better rolls and stuff. She needs it, honestly. She has quite high defense here, and that's because her healing is based on her defense rating. I don't necessarily think she has to have crazy high defense. Giving her another 20k HP might be better, honestly. But I don't have massive options, so I gave her the more heavy defense. She does have the higher Bastion's ring as well, just so she had more physical damage reduction for that initial fight. She isn't like my best. She's A0, so she hasn't got all of her awakenings, which could be decent. I haven't really looked at them. Whereas Livian's A5, and she has quite good physical damage reduction because of she's A5, which is actually quite nice. And then the last character pretty much was Lightlock, who I just put in. This set is going to be Soulbound Arcana again. It's more of an attack set, but he's got attack-based healing, but he'll get massive attack boost from doing this. He'll hit his ult more than 5 times in the fight, so he'll get a boost. Big attack speed as well, just because he needs to heal as much as possible. He is only healing one character pretty much, but that character has to stay alive. Initially it's Brienne, then it's Iona, so yeah, that's kind of like they're tanking because they're taking so much damage. Yeah, it is kind of what it is. I think for the item on him, I did have this, where if I heal them to full HP, it gives them a shield, just because I figured it would just be like a little bit of a, you know, a relax when that happens, but a bit nicer for him. And then we have Darlin, who just had Invigoration. It doesn't really matter too much on this. She only gets placed early, and I could just, like I say, look at Alistair, gets a bit of a boost. Whoever that damage dealer is for you will just get a bit of a boost. Her artifact, I have no idea. Okay, cool. It doesn't really do much. I mean, she does hit once or twice at the beginning, so maybe more attack-based is actually better. She hasn't got terrible attack. She's not doing too much, though, to be honest. But that's it for the gear sets. That's it for the run. And this is probably the most accessible stage 12 that I can do, at least. The rest of my stage 12s needs a bit more legendary firepower. Cratch did do decent though, but he wouldn't necessarily have to be there and placed for damage. You could swap out like Brienne and Cratch, and then maybe put someone else in Brienne's spot, or just rely more on Idrid or something. I don't know. But there's probably a lot of ways to do this, but that's a little way I decided to do it. Hopefully this has been useful for one of you. I want to thank you very much for tuning into my video. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.